Hey, good morning. Okay, I want to help you with your homework, which is to look at 4 primary sources about this topic of Japanese internment. And hopefully, you've watched what I posted today. You got to do that first. So if you're already on the homework and you're looking at it, go back and watch what I posted about Japanese internment. Anyway, your task is a little complicated because these primary sources can be a little wordy, but there are 4 of them here. And you have to read them and then answer just one question that goes with each, okay? I'm going to read them for you. If you feel comfortable doing this on your own, that's fine. You may want to print these out and highlight, but, just whatever way works. So I'm going to read these 4. The first one is from something called the Munson Report. And what it says is, on February 19th, 1942, President Roosevelt issued Executive Order 9066, authorizing military authorities to exclude civilians from any area without trial or hearing. In the months before, State Department official Curtis Munson was ordered to investigate the loyalty of Japanese Americans living along the West Coast. Below is an excerpt, a little bit, from his 25-page report. So here you go. There is no Japanese problem on the coast. There will be no armed uprising of Japanese. There will undoubtedly be some sabotage financed by Japan and executed largely by imported agents. In each naval district, there are about 250 to 300 suspects under surveillance. It is easy to get on the suspect list, merely a speech in favor of Japan at some banquet being sufficient to land one there. The intelligence services are generous with the title of the suspect and are taking no chances. Privately, they believe that only 50 or 60 in each district can be classified as really dangerous. The Japanese are limited as saboteurs because of their easily recognized physical appearance. It will be hard for them to get near anything to blow up if it is guarded. There is far more danger from communists on the coast than there is from Japanese. The Japanese here is almost exclusively a farmer, a fisherman, a small businessman. He has no access to factories or intricate machinery. Okay, here's your question. What is most likely the author's purpose for writing the report? Hint. How does he want the president to view the Japanese Americans? Okay, this is the second one. This is a little shorter. It comes from Harry Paxton Howard's article called Americans in Concentration Camps, September 1942. This article comes from The Crisis, an African-American periodical dedicated to promoting civil rights. The excerpt below is from an editorial that appeared soon after the establishment of internment camps. Here we go. Along the eastern coast of the United States, where the numbers of Americans of Japanese ancestry is comparatively small, no concentration camps have been established. From a military point of view, the only danger on this coast is from Germany and Italy. But the American government has not taken any such high-handed action against Germans and Italians and their American-born descendants. On the East Coast, as has been taken against Japanese and their American-born descendants on the West Coast, Germans and Italians are white. Color seems to be the only possible reason why thousands of American citizens of Japanese ancestry are in concentration camps. Anyway, there are no Italian-American or German-American citizens in such camps. Here's your question. Why, in the author's opinion, is Japanese internment unfair? Okay, the last one's pretty long. Again, if you can do this on your own, that's fine, but it's about a Supreme Court case where a Japanese man tried to protect his civil rights and was denied by the Supreme Court. And it was considered something that was necessary for America to do at that time. Now, the guy's name was Fred Korematsu, and what I'm going to read to you is an excerpt from what the Supreme Court said, all right? And your question is going to be, I'm going to give you the question first. Paraphrase 2 different reasons or explanations that the Supreme Court gave for segregating Japanese Americans during the war. In other words, you're going to have to tell me, why the Supreme Court said that it was okay to do this. All right, so I'm just going to read the excerpt here, and it's the one in the quotes. So follow along with me. Let me get to it. We uphold the exclusion order as of the time it was made and when the petitioner violated it. In doing so, we are not unmindful of the hardships opposed by it on a large group of American citizens. But hardships are part of war, and war is a collection of hardships. All citizens alike, both in and out of uniform, feel the impact of war in greater or lesser measure. Citizenship has its responsibilities as well as its privileges. And in the time of war, the burden is always heavier. Compulsory exclusion of large groups of citizens from their homes, except under circumstances of extreme emergency and peril, is inconsistent with our basic government institutions. But when, under consideration of modern warfare, our shores are threatened by hostile forces, the power to protect must be in proportion to the threatened danger. To cast this case into outlines of racial prejudice without reference to the real military dangers which were presented merely confuses the issue. Korematsu was not excluded from the military area because of hostility to him or his race. He was excluded because we are at war with the Japanese Empire, because the properly constituted military authorities feared an invasion of our west coast and felt constrained to take proper security measures, because they decided that the military urgency of the situation demanded that all citizens of Japanese ancestry be segregated from the west coast temporarily, and finally, because Congress, placing its confidence in this time of war in our military leaders, as inevitably it must, determined that they should have the power to do this. Now, what you're supposed to do again is to paraphrase 2 different reasons or explanations the Supreme Court gave for segregating Japanese Americans. Hey, this is hard. You only got 3. I cut out the 4th one. All right? So you've only got 3, and I want this submitted. Do the best you can, but this is primary source stuff, and it's going to be expected in high school. Okay. All right. And remember, email me, Hangouts, any other things like that if you need help. I can go over this with you one-on-one, whatever we need to do. Okay?